Thank you, Mr. Stile, and thank you for being here. I just had a few questions. A yes or no will suffice, but feel free to answer as long as you'd like. Is Wells Fargo the largest bank in the world?
No, Wells Fargo is not the largest.
Is it the largest bank in the Western Hemisphere?
No, we're not.
What about North America?
No, we're not.
So not the United States either, I'm guessing.
No, Congressman.
Of the banks that are larger than Wells Fargo, are you aware of any that were involved in a scandal of such magnitude as Wells Fargo's, and if so, about how many?
I'm not aware of another bank that's had the extent of the issues that we've had.
So I guess what I'm getting at is it's obvious that there are large banks in this country that are doing a pretty good job. And is it fair to say that Wells Fargo's problems are perhaps unique and you all are trying to get to a point where, like the other large banks in our nation, they're able to operate fairly smoothly and honestly despite being large?
Congressman, I do believe that we've not been run the way we should be run, and our culture wasn't what it should be. But it's possible to change those things, and it is possible to run the company well.
I appreciate that, and thank you for being here. You know, I also wanted to kind of just make an observation. I'm looking through some of the majority's reports, and it's been very helpful, and I appreciate all the work they put into it. Before I made that observation, I was just going to point out, we've had the head of the OCC here, I guess last month it was, and kind of one of the overarching themes was that there was mismanagement going on, and he was, to paraphrase, doing the bidding of the Trump administration. A report that this committee put out, a news release on February 3rd, 2020, kind of really blasted the FDIC's and OCC's plans to weaken components of the Volcker rule. And in the press releases that I've read, it made clear that they held these accountability groups, the FDIC, the OCC, responsible for putting out for doing the wishes of the Trump administration. So they kind of blamed the administration for decisions by the OCC. The reason I bring that up is because when I look at this report, page 23, committee staff findings, and I don't dispute these findings, I'm sure they're accurate. It says, before the 2016 and 2018 consent orders, financial regulators knew about serious enterprise-wide deficiencies at Wells Fargo for years without alerting the public. Well, our great president was elected in 2016, and so when I read all these deficiencies and regulatory efforts, page 24, on April 19th, 2017, a report issued by the OCC's Office of Enterprise Government and the Ombudsman reviewing the OCC's supervision of the bank sales practices concluded that the OCC did not take timely and effective supervisory actions. The OCC failed to conduct comprehensive reviews and testing of monitoring systems and controls over sales practices between 2011 and 2014. That is right in the middle of the Obama administration. I just can't help but wonder how this report would read if a Republican were in the White House during the years of mismanagement by the regulatory groups that just allowed this to go on. And so my conclusion that I'd like to make is that the Trump administration has really done a great job. In their first 2 years, they have executed on enforcement action, and I think that things are really turning around, and I want to applaud the Trump administration for their progress. I'm disappointed that so much of this was apparently asleep at the switch actions during the Obama administration. But I wish you luck, and I thank you for coming here before us today, and I yield back to the chairwoman.